going on, everybody? Another episode of Financial Freedom in 15. I cannot be more stoked to be here with my boy, Ricky Carvalho, not only because we've known each other, I think since we've been like 15 or 14. We met in Costa Rica on this cool like project service trip. Ricky's not only a stand-up dude and honestly like one of my best, oldest friends, but he is a crypto legend. He's super deep into the crypto space. He's honestly like an expert in the field. People reach out to him from all over. He's not just doing Bitcoin and Ethereum, but he's doing all sorts of cool projects, NFTs. And I'm really excited to just learn from you today because I do not know nearly enough about crypto. So Ricky, welcome to the show, bro.
Yeah, thank you very much, brother. It's been a little minute.
I know. Good to see you again, man. So before we dive into the crypto, the question I like to start things off with is what does financial freedom mean to you? Because obviously I think with your crypto money, you've obviously been able to build yourself a financially free life. What does that mean to you, being financially free?
That's a super important question to me because even nowadays, and since I was young, my buddies called me an anything but a job guy. Because I did the whole 9 to 5 thing for a while, and I can't find myself sitting down for too long. So financial freedom is like being able to have my own schedule and have my own time and live on my own clock instead of having to abide by a company's rules and show up at this time and be here at this moment. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's something that makes, satisfies you. But that's my version of financial freedom.
I love that. And I'm a big traveler, but if I travel, you're like a mega traveler. Ricky just got back from Dubai. So it's cool to watch you, be able to take trips on your time and kind of just go where the wind takes you.
Absolutely. And if my voice sounds horrible, I think I got like a Dubai sand cough. My lungs have like fallen apart. So excuse me for that.
All good. Okay, so let's just start off with crypto 101. Tell us a little bit about like how you got started, and then let's maybe dive into some tips. We don't have to go super high level, but I'd love to give some value to so many people who might be on Robinhood, like buying Bitcoin, or tell us about your crypto journey for a little bit, and then let's dive into how someone can get started and become like you someday.
So I got started in 2017. Ironically enough, my little brother called me and he's like, yo, remember that Bitcoin stuff that you used on the internet many years ago? Well, it's at $800. I was like, no way. I think this was like January or like end of 2016. And then I like let it go, moved on. And then come July, August of 2017, he's like, bro, look. And it was at like $2,000, like 2,300 or something. And I was like, all right, this is notable. Those are some unprecedented numbers in such short amounts of time. And I always wanted to get into stock trading. And when I was young, I always asked, older peers I knew in the market, like, hey, how do I do this? And I feel like the barrier of entry was much higher than it is in crypto because, you need a KYC, and KYC means know your customer. And, you got to get accounts approved, and you got to have this and that. And then I was able to get into crypto with an email and a password, right? So I started there 2017, got into the tail end of the bull market, and everybody makes money in a bull market. I started with like $2,800 and I turned that into like 53 grand in like 5 months. And I was like, wow, I can make a living doing this. And I'll never forget, I called my dad in like January at the top and I was like, Dad, I'm going to buy a Lambo on my birthday. And I was turning, I think 19. And he's like, sell. And I was like, no, it's just started, right? But that was the top. And I learned all my lessons in that bear market. I lost it all. Went back to a job.
Grand.
Yeah, I lost it all. I mean, it didn't happen overnight, right? Like I was trying to trade things I didn't understand, and that was the issue. And then I was hooked though. I was like, I can't, a lot of people step away when they lose. They're like, fuck it, I'll go back to work. But I was like, I'm an anything but a job guy. Like, I'm going to stick this out and learn it. I was doing side gigs. I started selling motorcycles and doing literally flipping anything I could find on Craigslist that had a margin or any sort of arbitrary value. And then, but on the same note, I'm in college and I'm just like watching the markets. I've probably logged about 8,000 hours on the markets since then. And, I just got to sit through bear and bull, and here we are today.
When did it take off for you? So you obviously lost it all, and when did things really pick back up?
So about, I'd say a little over a year and change, probably almost 2 years. I started to like actually understand what I was doing, right? And then, the market started to pick up pace, and, I had some crazy swings, right? Like I was turning $10,000 accounts into $100,000 accounts. And I got introduced to leverage and margin, which is a double-edged blade. So super careful to anybody listen to that. Yeah, you can make a lot of money, but you lose it just as fast. I learned that lesson this year again. I got hit a few times. I was over leveraged. Definitely. I'm like a what's his name? My favorite book ever, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. It's all about what's his fucking name? I'll get back to it. But moral of the story is he made it all, lost it all like 10 times over in his 50-year lifetime cycle of trading. And it's pretty much where I'm at. You know, it's very volatile, but it's like the only thing I know how to do now. And I
Yeah.
live and breathe these markets.
And you're such an expert in such a niche field that's only growing and growing. So let's take it back for someone like me. I own some Bitcoin. I've traded in and out of Ethereum, but let's say even someone more basic than me, they got a little bit of money to invest and they want to start in crypto. Knowing all the information you do now, what would you go back and just say to yourself when you're getting started, or where does someone, take that first step?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing is you're not a trader, right? 99% of traders don't make it, and everybody like idolizes this trader lifestyle. Like, oh, I want to make $250,000 today. I'm gonna learn how to trade. It works until it doesn't, and if it worked, it's probably because you got lucky. It's very dangerous, and you'll lose a lot of money doing it. So, for somebody entering the market, I always say the same thing. I say first, don't invest anything you're not willing to lose, and make sure you understand your time horizon. Because I'm a big bull on Bitcoin on a macro time frame. The noise in between a few days to weeks to months can hurt a lot of people, including myself. I start to lose vision in what I, invested in originally. But, know your time frame of investment, understand, this is still a speculative asset. And as bullish as we are, all it can go to zero. And then dollar cost average and invest. And I know everybody says dollar cost average, right? Oh, so Buffett did it, whatever. Yeah, but really dollar cost averaging is a very powerful tool. And what that means is, let's say just for, easy numbers, Bitcoin's at $10,000 today, right? If it drops 20%, then invest a specific percentage that you're comfortable investing. And, as it goes lower, just add a little bit more and your average will be at a pretty solid entry if we continue in a bull market and upwards. That could take a few months, few years. It doesn't matter. The point being, just invest what you're comfortable investing. And honestly, for an asset like Bitcoin and most cryptos, expand your time horizon, because you're gonna think that, oh shit, we just did 2x, like it's time to take some profit. Yeah, take some profit. But if your time horizon is a 5-year investment, you're gonna see incredible numbers in 5 years with these kinds of assets. And we already have. But I think like I've got incredible targets in mind for a lot of these assets.
Totally. So let's talk about, obviously, in crypto or in stocks, you have to really take your emotion out of it. I feel like, because it's so volatile, especially crypto, it's so volatile. It's like hard to know where things are going. How have you found ways for you to basically be like, not get emotional and sell when things hit the fan, or just freak out? Do you have any tips for people that
Absolutely.
are maybe too scared to start?
Yeah, so that takes a turn into the investing versus trading side.
Yeah,
If you really are ambitious and really want to pursue a trading career, it takes discipline and structure, and having like a set terms of guidelines of how you're going to, perform. And emotion interferes with a lot of that. One thing I do is, like, once you can eliminate the factor as a trader of like this money being real, um, it changes a lot. So normally what I'll do to like eliminate that factor is I have a bunch of accounts that I split up, and I call them challenge accounts, where I'll throw like $1,000 here, I'll throw 10,000 here, 50,000 here. And the smaller denominator is way easier to, cope with losses. But it helps me eliminate the fact that that's money, and it turns it into more of a game to me. But when I use a percentage of my net worth, that's like that, would hurt if I lost, my emotion comes into play and then interferes with my plan and my structure, which is something I do, right? Everybody has different ways of coping with their emotions in the market, but that's for a trader. As an investor, the biggest thing for controlling your emotion is, one, don't over leverage and don't over invest. In other words, for over leveraging, don't borrow, right? You have Michael Saylor saying, fucking sell your house and mortgage your kids and do everything you can to get exposure, which in hindsight, he may possibly be one of the wealthiest people in the world for doing so. but your emotion will get the best of you in those types of situations.
Yeah.
Psychopaths do great in this market. These kinds of people, sociopaths, people who can really detach from emotions in this type of market do really well. But, for sane people, it's hard to understand that you're going to see 6-figure, 7-figure swings in your net worth day to day, especially in crypto, as opposed to
Real estate. You
yeah,
don't see that as
exactly.
much.
And that's
That's
why you
literally
have
like,
go ahead.
it's like, it'd be like me having a house that's worth 2 million. I put it on the market and then the next day it's worth 1 and my seller would be pretty pissed.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's what you deal
very
with on the
stressed.
day to day.
Exactly.
It's so different.
Yeah, and um, especially I think that's why crypto has been geared towards a newer generation, because the older generations, it's hard for them to grasp something that's not tangible, one, and two, that's so volatile. But a lot of money is made on the volatility side of things for traders, which is great. We love the volatility.
Yeah, I would love to touch on that non-tangible. That's like a perfect transition. Let's touch on NFTs. Me personally, I don't own any NFTs, and it's sometimes hard for me to grasp the value. Can you touch on NFTs for beginners and why you think they're so valuable and where you see that space like going, and like
Yeah,
why I should buy an
absolutely.
NFT? Yeah.
So we are in a bubble for NFTs, and that goes without saying, right? You have pictures of, we call them JPEGs because it's for the meme, but you have photos of like squiggly lines selling for $7 million, right? That's a bubble. Okay, none of it. I have buddies who are flipping JPEGs for $30 million. Like none of it makes any sense. So it is a bubble, but the technology behind itself is very applicable to, a lot of things. I wasn't really a big NFT believer up until probably July, and I saw most of my guys transitioning to the space. I would say I was rather late myself, but I come from an audience that is early beyond belief. So like I'm
Yeah.
comparing myself relative to them. So right now NFTs are being used as a speculative asset to just trade back and forth to make money, kind of like collectibles, and they work in a way where you can own an NFT because it's technically a token, but it's a non-fungible token. So it's on the blockchain. It's a unique address that can't be copied or faked or interfered with if it's yours in your wallet. So that's like the unique property of an NFT, right? NFTs are great because they can be applied in the sense of almost a ticket. So say you need a pass, right? For example, imagine a season pass for a Heat game or
Hmm.
whatever. I don't watch
Yeah.
sports, but these companies can onboard and sell their passes as NFTs and just distribute them directly to somebody's wallet, because all of
Hmm.
these wallets are all connected on the blockchain. That being the unique pass owned by the season pass holder, and that can then be transferred by him, but that will only be the identifying pass and no others, right? It can't be copied, it can't be cheated.
Yeah.
It's the exact address on the chain, it's on chain, and you can't fake it. So that's like an incredible application for NFTs themselves,
Yeah.
that kind of
So it's
thing.
like it would help security, and basically there's all these fraudulent tickets, all these, I feel like NFTs could replace a
Absolutely.
bunch of problems that are in
It's
that
on chain,
area.
right?
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it. It's on the
Yeah.
blockchain, and
On the B
everybody,
chain.
exactly, everybody can see it, and you can't fake it.
Yeah, totally. Well, we're coming up towards the end. Is there any other advice or tips or tricks, maybe going back to young Ricky, who's the trader? What would you tell yourself now,
I would
knowing everything
say
you know?
take risks when you're young. Specifically, take risks and believe in yourself. I've had down bad days where I've just like almost given up everything, and the market will beat you up. But take risks. Invest in the metaverse. The metaverse is going to be massive, and if you've seen Ready Player One, I'm not even kidding. It will be very similar. You'll have an NFT avatar, and you'll be able to access, the metaverse via VR, AR, however it be. Look into the metaverse, look into NFTs, and absolutely invest in blockchain and disruptive technology like blockchain. That's like the biggest thing in the next 5-10 years.
Yeah, you don't want to be just sitting there saying you missed the boat. And I mean, use the money that you have to invest. You can have a percentage, I feel like, of your money that you're going to invest conservatively, but the percent that's aggressive, if you're not in some sort of like new age blockchain, Bitcoin technology, you'll look back and be pissed in 5 years
Yeah,
for all those
and
people
not
watching.
just tokens, but invest in like actual platforms that are changing the way people interact with each other. And I don't mean invest like just financially, but like there are thousands of jobs opening up every day. and these disruptive companies that are just startups that will be the Apple and Google of blockchain in the next 5 years, you know. So take a risk, enter a new industry, and not just financially, but invest your time into
Yeah.
understanding how these things work, because they will change everything.
Any companies that come to mind that people should look up, or YouTube, and you're thinking of companies that you like right now?
No, but there are a bunch of recruiters for disruptive tech, specifically blockchain and stuff, that, you know, there are a bunch of job openings. A simple Google search like crypto jobs will get you to the right recruiter. But
I bet they're coming after you like crazy. The recruiters are blowing up your line.
I've honestly thought about retiring like the aggressive trading style I live to enter a firm, a more laid back lifestyle, because the stress, man, this shit beats me up.
I bet, dude. If people want to learn more, if I want to reach out to you, can I link your Instagram, or where's a good place for
Yeah,
people to touch
absolutely.
base with you, follow you?
Probably Twitter, just because my Instagram's more private. So
Okay.
I'm shadow banned on Twitter, so it's a little harder to find me because I post a lot of disruptive memes. I shit post a lot, but I do drop some charts and alpha, and I like to interact with my followers there. My Twitter is @buyer-of-blood, other known as Ponzi Trader. So you can link that there, and they'll find me
I have
there.
the link to that. I'm not on Twitter as much as I should, but I know, like,
You should.
from just your stuff gets retweeted and reposted by huge accounts. Like you're like a big guy on Twitter. It's
Not
awesome.
yet, but
You're
I
like a
love
secret
Twitter.
shadow, but yeah, cool,
I
man.
have a community
Anything
there.
else that I missed that we should touch on before I let you go?
Sam, I'm gonna make a bold claim here. Sam Bankman-Friedman, or SBF from FTX, will be the top 5 richest, wealthiest men in the next 5 years.
I don't know who that is, but at least it's timestamped.
Founder
You
of
can send him this.
founder of FTX. That's all you
Okay.
need to know.
Okay, look him up. It's timestamped. You can send this video in 5 years and say, "I told you so."
I told you so.
Let's go. Where's Bitcoin going to be at in 5 years?
Bitcoin's just going to be at 100K within the next 3 months.
Let's see. In 3 months, baby. I'm putting money into Bitcoin today. Don't let me down, Ricky. You're the man,
Ethereum,
dude.
10 grand.
I appreciate you so much, dude. Ponzi trader to the moon.
Absolutely.
Have a good one, bro.
You too, brother.